Had you told me 5 years ago I would have this business at this point where I made something like this, a spanking bench with upholstery, I'd have said,
"Shut up, you silly little goose."
But here we are. And I'm actually making two of these. It's kind of weird how the cosmos lined up, and I had two different commissions from two different people to make them. So I was able to really get my chops in on making these. I'll save you the headache of watching me do two of them at once. So I'll just show you the process of one being made. But what you're not going to realize is I'm using footage from both of them. So it's up to you to guess what footage you're watching goes to which bench. And it'll be a little game that you can play with yourself. Kind of like, oh yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Back when I made the St. Andrew's cross, I had expressed my frustration in having to find the angles for the legs. Finding the angles for the feet was quite a pain in the ass. A random YouTube comment pointed out that what you should do is put the pieces in the position you want, take a 2x4, slide it up to it, make your mark, and that'll help you set the angle. And I've got to say that's absolutely brilliant advice. Thank you, random YouTube user. And that's what I did here. Since I already had the piece cut to the length that I wanted, I did this technique and I was able to actually set my miter saw, then just slide it down and cut off what I needed. And so I'm going to go ahead and make the A-frames, which are the legs of the bench. And I wanted them to be super sturdy, so I'm doing some fancy joinery on it because I'm a woodworker and I gotta make things super fancy. Besides doing this kind of, I don't think it's really a half lap joint. It's actually going to reinforce it and make it stronger than just the screwing, the bracing to it. So everything I make with these benches is going to be reinforced. That way it's not going to fall apart, because that's the last thing you need in the middle of a scene is your shit falling apart. I mean, emotionally that may happen, but you don't want your equipment to. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. I'm using plywood to make the arm and leg rest, these pieces, and then also as the center support on the top, and then also the platform on the top. It's the best way I felt I could maximize the material at hand. Oh my god, I'm using pocket screws. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, like, people get stupid when it comes to like pocket screws and Shaoshugiban burning and resin, and it's like, dude, just get over it. If it's not your thing, move on. It's not that hard. Sorry about that rant. It drives me nuts. You know what else drives me nuts? On the song On the Outside by Stained, when it originally came out, it was an acoustic version that was done live. And I like the song, but there's a point in that version of it where Fred Durst is like, I'm feeling those lighters out there. To this day, like almost 20 years later, that drives me nuts. I'm sure if you were at the show, it was really cool as shit, but they should have like got rid of that before throwing it on the radio and having you hear it a million gazillion times. Miss Penguin thinks it's funny that it still just like agitates the piss out of me, but not as much as people that are like one true way woodworking and just like just go. Making the shelves or the arm and leg rests for it, I had the option of either doing individual like leg rests and arm rests, but I decided to do a full-on like kind of shelf bench style. That way you have a little bit more options for how you're positioned on it, and it also kind of adds to the sturdiness of the entire frame and setup with it running the span. Also made it adjustable, that way whether you're tall like myself or you're short like Miss Penguin, you can get on it a little bit more comfortably. I did do holes instead of like rings for your tie-off points out of convenience to do it, and I thought it would look better than having a bunch of hardware on the thing. And someone on Fetlife, when I posted pictures of it, had made a comment that it makes them think that there should have been a cup holder, and it's kind of a funny idea because I mean you got to stay hydrated when you play. Maybe like a curly straw or something, you know. I mean, could you imagine like I'm trying to drink and shit, but I don't know, maybe the straw would be a bad idea. You might put your eye out, kid. And of course, Miss Penguin again with the sanding and painting because she's the fucking best. Love you, baby. The upholstery is the one part of this project I've been dreading since the beginning of it because it's a realm I've never even began to attempt before. So I did a lot of research, watched a lot of videos, read up on it, and tried to do the best I could. I took strips of the plywood that I could take 2-inch foam. I tried to use scissors and it was a pain in the ass. I tried to use a box cutter, it was a pain in the ass. I recommend, if you don't want to buy an electric knife, you need one of those like box cutters that like has a blade that sticks way out. I didn't have one of those either. I did have a blade for one of them, but I lost the actual knife a million years ago because I never used it. But I was able to use that blade and get really good cuts to cut the foam. And I took a spray to adhere the foam to the backings. I used a marine vinyl because it's easy to clean and it's pretty durable stuff, and a lot of staples. Lots and lots of staples. Once I had all the padding upholstered, then it was time to assemble it and show you what I got. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya! Yeah.
Okay, I'm rolling.
Okay.
Stay there. Up.
You gotta look at the camera, Daddy.
I am. Fuck! Okay, one take's all we needed.